Ladies and gentlemen, a special message from the Honorable Barack Obama, 44th President of the United States.
Hi, everybody. At this point, I think my love for Nancy Pelosi is well documented. But I figured I'd make it absolutely clear for anyone who doesn't already know. Whenever I get stressed about what's happening in Washington, I always feel better knowing that Nancy is on the case. And that's because, for Nancy, nothing is impossible. After we lost Senator Kennedy in 2009, just about everyone told us the Affordable Care Act was dead. But Nancy never believed it. She would always say, if the gate is closed, we'll push it open. If the gate's locked, we'll pole vault over it. If that doesn't work, we'll parachute in. Just about the only thing she wasn't willing to do was give up. And like always, she got it done. The Affordable Care Act is just one example of why I believe Nancy will go down as one of the most accomplished legislators in American history. She helped rescue the economy not once, but twice. She helped make historic investments in the fight against climate change. Just last week, she helped keep marriage equality the law of the land. And even after insurrectionists literally broke into her office, she never stopped defending democracy here at home and around the world. Nancy has also inspired a generation of women to run, win, and lead because they've seen her, what someone like her and someone like them can do. On a personal note, Nancy, I will always be grateful for our friendship, forged in tough battles and, I guess by you, fortified by dark chocolate. And while you won't be in leadership anymore, I'll still feel better knowing that your portrait will be looking down from these walls, reminding everyone who sees it to keep up the fight. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being wonderful. And congratulations again on a job well done. Hi, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Zoe Lofgren.
Well, now is the moment we've been waiting for, where Nancy, our wonderful speaker, friend, and leader, will, joined by her family, unveil this beautiful portrait.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Thank you all. It's amazing to think that John Boehner and I had the same artist paint our pictures, right, John? Good afternoon, everyone. I'm overjoyed to be here with each and every one of you. I'm overjoyed to be here with my family, Paul Jr., Nancy, Corinne, Alexander, Liam, and the Pelosis, and also the D'Alessandros here from Baltimore. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my dear husband, Paul, my loving partner of life, my constant pillar of support. Thank you, Paul, and thank you for unveiling the portrait. I'm also touched by so many of my dedicated staff who are here. As I said on the floor of the House, the best staff ever in the history of our country. Thank you. And for my remarkable colleagues, everything that was said here about what we accomplished would not have been possible without the courage of our colleagues, the dedication, the values, the courage of our colleagues. And I thank you for all of the successes you made possible. This program was wonderful to me. It was like seeing a story of my political life revealed in front of me, not in terms of believing all of the accolades, but in identifying with the persons who were presenting. Again, Chair Zoe Lofgren, leading our California delegation, Chair of the House Administration Committee. Thank you, Zoe, for being a powerful voice for diversity and for voting rights and for democracy itself in the Congress. Congresswoman Lucille Roybal, like a sister to me. I served with her father, Eddie Roybal, as did Steny. We served with Eddie. He came to Congress on a path that he blazed, working with the farm workers that he helped organize. And I particularly like that because the farm workers helped organize my first campaign under the leadership of Fred Ross, who left us recently. Lucille, in your own right, you made your mark in Congress, the godmother of the DREAM Act, and one who taught us every day that newcomers to America were the constant reinvigoration of America. Thank you, Lucille. I'm grateful to Denise Graves. Wasn't she wonderful? Isn't she wonderful? As I'm sitting there hearing her sing, I'm thinking back, my first swearing in as a leader was as whip a long time ago, 2002. Denise Graves sang that day as well. And so here she is again. Thank you so much. So beautiful. You've taught us in a moving way what America is to me. My favorite verse, the children in the playground, the faces that I see, all races and religions, that's America to me. Thank you, Denise Graves. Leader Schumer. Leader Schumer. George Miller told me the same thing about you. But he had it in a different house. And don't we miss him? I'm honored that you are here as leader of the Senate and to welcome you back to the House where we got you ready for all of that leadership. Today, before we came in here, we had a ceremony on the floor to mark the 10-year anniversary of the Sandy Hook tragedy. I want to recognize you today for the work that you did in the House. He was our leader in passing the Brady bill in the House of Representatives. We would not have been able to, I was like a munchkin, just go do this, go do that, but Chuck Schumer was in charge. And he really, really taught us how to lead and how to win. And now, in addition to that, our bicameral partnership of the American Rescue Package, Infrastructure Bill, PACT Act for our veterans, and thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being with us, McDonough, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, and just yesterday, signed by the President, the Respect for Marriage Act. Thank you so much for your leadership. Chuck Schumer made so much, was responsible for so much of that to happen. We trained him well in the House. Elena Hung is the personification of outside mobilization. I say it all the time, our inside maneuvering can just take us so far. Unless the outside weighs in, we cannot have our best product. When her little girl, Xiomara, had her challenges, she said, I'm going to give voice to this. They started Little Lobbyists and made so much difference in protecting the Affordable Care Act. Thank you, Elena, for joining us today. And thank you, Ramon. How about John Boehner? Wasn't that something? I'm telling you. I would have been a little disappointed if he did not get emotional. As he said so well, and I totally agree, we had our disagreements along the way, but we were not disagreeable to each other. In fact, we tried very hard to bring people together. Many different issues that were our challenges at the time. My biggest challenge, which I failed in, was to get him to stop smoking. And he's still there, right? So thank you for honoring us with your presence today. It means a great deal to me. He gave me the gavel. I gave him the gavel. I was present at his Unveiling, and he's here today. And more important than that, Debbie is here today. Paul and I love that you're here, Debbie. Thank you so much. And President Obama, what an honor, what a total honor for me that he sent this message today. He taught us about the audacity to hope that makes a difference in America. I saw firsthand his inspirational leadership, knowing every detail and every possibility to expand quality, affordable health care. It simply would not have happened without him. That goes without saying almost. I also saw him firsthand up close rally the world at COP15 in Copenhagen early on, making a big difference. And you know, Madam Secretary of the Interior, what a difference he made from outside the Congress, but now with that full appreciation. And he then took that on to the Paris COP and made a tremendous difference that we are advancing now. So today, he and Michelle continue to lift up the next generation of leaders, investing in the future, giving them hope and confidence to make a difference. He was always about the future. When he had the courage to run, as he served and led, and now investing in the future. Thank you, President Obama, for that beautiful, beautiful statement. In a moment, you'll hear from Father Privet, my dear friend. As you know, my public service is based on my faith, springs from my faith. I'll never forget the prayer that Father Privet delivered on the floor during my swearing in as speaker in 2007, and it's so special that you're with us today. Thank you, Father Privet, for that. So when I came to Congress all those years ago, George Miller introduced me to his friends. My slogan at the time for the campaign was, "A voice that will be heard." A voice that will be heard. That was the slogan. And little did I know that it would be one culminating in my being the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Never thought that. And I'm honored to play this role in forging what we consider historic progress for our nation. Again, it would not happen without the courage, values, and knowledge and inspiration of our colleagues. I thank all of you for being here today. We're going to have some time to get together when we leave here. But in the meantime, I just want to share some other thoughts with you. We're in Statuary Hall, and everyone who knows, every time I speak in Statuary Hall, I call to people's attention the goddess of history, the muse of history, Cleo. Cleo records all that she observes. And I keep saying to the members, Cleo is writing down in the book what, Mr. Leader, you've heard, Kevin, you've heard this so many times here. And my colleagues, I'm confident that she will look favorably upon our achievements. We've also sought common ground where we could. We have that responsibility. Bipartisanship, transparency, accountability, where we can. As Lincoln taught us, we must always seek to swell the chorus of the Union when again touched, as surely we will be, by the better angels of our nature. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for mentioning Ron Scherer, the artist. I want to join you in extending sympathy to his family. Imagine that 1 week ago, he left 1 week before this. He had a gift of capturing the intricate details of the House chamber and breathing life into an historic moment. Again, as was mentioned, this painting will stand out as a woman in that speaker's lobby. I'm really honored. My members had the courage to elect a woman speaker. That is not without courage. And as the leader mentioned, somewhere out there, there's someone who will be, somewhere in this Congress is a woman, future woman speaker to be. I'm honored to be the first, but it'll only be a good accomplishment if I'm not the last. And again, with so much So many values, so much commitment for the common good. I know that will be sooner rather than later. In the coming Congress, as I had mentioned, I look forward to continuing my public service in the Congress where I began 35 years ago, a voice that will be heard for San Francisco. No matter what titles my colleagues may have given me, my highest official honor will always be to speak for the people of San Francisco. I thank all of you for being here to celebrate the story of my congressional career, but as demonstrated by those who shared some thoughts with us, it's our political career. It's what we have done working together inside the Congress and, again, with the outside mobilization so necessary to get the job done. To my colleagues, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can never thank you enough. I thank you for your support, but more importantly, for your patriotism and for what you are all doing on both sides of the aisle for our country. And I think that every one of you is a blessing to our country. And may God continue to bless America. Thank you all so much for being here today and making this